Won the two previous games here in Dallas, and they're looking to bounce back from their collapse in San Antonio this past Tuesday night. The Mavericks are back in this series while the Spurs have yet another opportunity to close it out. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with the Czar, Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy. Well, as reported just moments ago on the pregame show, once again, Dirk Nowitzki will sit out because of that sprained knee, so he is missing his third straight game. Jeff, are the Mavericks capable of another emotional, improbable victory?
They can if Michael Finley continues his dominance of this series. He's averaging over 24 points, 6 rebounds, and is 30 from 30 from the free throw line, but he still needs an inside presence. Eduardo Nájera gave that to him in Game 5.
Our San Antonio, a team that has now blown 5 playoff games, losing double-digit leads on 5 occasions. Are they feeling the pressure going into tonight?
We normally talk about losing games in the fourth quarter, but Game 5 was lost in the second quarter. Spurs up 19, couldn't deliver the knockout punch. They go in at halftime just up 11 points. Greg Popovich spent yesterday trying to convince his team how fortunate is the position they're in, that they can go on to the NBA Finals. He wants them to respect it more and then seize the opportunity.
The come-from-behind win by the Mavericks in Game 5 put that presentation ceremony on hold. Now they're looking to even the series at 3, setting up a Game 7 back in San Antonio. Well, the guys earlier talked about Tony Parker. He's playing with a case of the stomach flu. Mavericks going with the same starting lineup we've seen in the previous 2 games with Walt Williams and Nick Van Exel as the starters. And Sean Bradley is also available tonight. It was thought that he would be out for the rest of the series. Don Nelson telling us that he's looking for Bradley to give him a couple of minutes here and there. Bradley with a sprained medial collateral ligament in his right knee. So Parker opens up against Finley. We're underway in Game 6. They collapse on Duncan, gets it to Jackson. Yes, Stephen Jackson with the first bucket of the night.
We saw 2 things happen there on offense. One, Duncan tried to split the double team, and then when he stepped through, Jackson stepped into his shooting pocket and was not hesitant.
And Exel pops it immediately. Tony Parker missed the shoot-around earlier in the day. Crowd wanted to travel on Parker. Here is Duncan. And it's tipped home as both Duncan and LaFrance went for that loose ball. It's a 4-0 San Antonio lead. Williams pass kicked by Robinson, so Dallas maintains possession.
And Walt Williams really struggled when he had to put the ball to the floor in Game 5 to make a play, either to finish a layup or to complete a pass. There again, another tough possession for him.
And again, you saw what happens when they have Robinson and Duncan on the floor. You may go past the one, but then you encounter the next big man that protects the rim for San Antonio.
They cleared out for Finley, and he draws the foul. Michael Finley, who has been superb all series. Game 5, 31 points, 8 rebounds, 5 steals.
Jackson tends to go for ball fakes, wants to get the block. Finley gets him up in the air, goes to the line now for 2.
Dallas Mavericks were perfect at the line this past Tuesday night. 23 for 23. Remember, in Game 1, they hit 49 of 50 at the foul line. During the regular season, they're 83%. Best in the NBA. Second best overall in the history of the league. The Boston Celtics of 1989-90 a shade in front of what Dallas accomplished. Chris Bowen given the room. Tony Parker resets. Here's Tim Duncan. Rebounded by Michael Finley.
This is almost a combination defense right now. They've assigned one man to Duncan, and then they're zoning off with the rest of the Dallas Mavericks.
LaFrance not able to hit. Parker, Robinson, and LaFrance in a battle for that loose ball and the foul by Robinson.
Robinson's trying to figure out where the foul is called. He was just trying to hang in there and got a hand on the ball the same way LaFrance did. And just because their arms got interlocked, both players going after the ball. I thought that was a no call.
Play on.
Play on.
The officials Steve Javy, Ron Garrettson, and Tom Washington. 2 minutes gone by here at the start. Williams trying to shake off Duncan. The play by LaFrance to keep it alive. Van Exel. Little flip shot, as Nick Van Exel likes to refer to that running one-hander. Here's Duncan from Jackson. So the Spurs able to get Tim Duncan off to the good start. His second field goal, 6-2, San Antonio.
I love when San Antonio goes to the pick and roll early in the game. Everybody gets involved, and they get the body off Duncan, so he gets better quality shots.
And they're looking for the screen. Played well by Jackson. Here's LaFrance off the dribble. Great LaFrance taking it to the rim.
Jeff, you have to be excited about that. No three-point shot. Down low inside. Strong move.
I am so excited about that. Ray taking it to the rim.
Parker open. Rebounded by LaFrance. Spurs get back. Steve Nash, who had the excellent second half to help spark Dallas to that come-from-behind win the other night. Nash stripped by Parker. Duncan for Robinson. He's fouled by LaFrance.
After Parker stripped the ball that time and the fast break started, Tony Parker just about made it back up over the half-court line. Watch after the strip. Right there's the strip. As San Antonio comes down, being dragged away behind, he is low on gas in his tank tonight.
But I like his defensive effort the entire series on Nash. There he kept him in front and then stripped him. Isn't it a nice little thing to have when your power forward can lead the fast break?
Well, LaFrance able to tear it away from Jackson. Spurs with a three-point leader. Finley trying to tie. He does. Michael Finley from downtown. And once again, Greg Popovich going to the early timeout.
Bruce Bowen was so busy calling out, somebody stopped the ball, but he never would have picked up Finley in the corner. He winds up closing out way too late. Finley beat set, three-pointer.
It takes more than an individual to win a championship. It takes a team. Everyone working together, playing defense, leaving their egos at the door. It's old school basketball. And those who know its secrets will show what it takes to become a champion. The finals are coming. Game 1, June 4th at 8 p.m. on ABC.
Log on to SI.com for the latest NBA news, scores, and more from Sports Illustrated.
TNT's exclusive coverage of the NBA Western Conference Finals, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. More than 2,700 non-stop daily flights to 59 destinations. The Hulk on June 20th. Experience the incredible. Verizon Wireless. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you. And MGD. Cold filter what you don't need. Keep what's good.
The Mavs and the Spurs are tied at 7. Just moments ago, Mike Fratello commented on pictures that showed Tony Parker dragging up and down the court. What has happened is all day he has been losing fluids at both ends. The IV, the 2 liters, partially did replenish his volume of fluids. However, now that he has been sweating, his tank is running dry. Magic Johnson mentioned in the pregame show that sometimes when you're sick, you have some of your best games. That still may be the case, but right now there's concern on the Spurs bench. Joe?
Craig, Dirk Nowitzki said that he's extremely disappointed that he cannot play tonight's game. He said what has been so frustrating is the fact that he's had about a week of treatments and he hasn't seen any improvements. Now, the problem that he's having physically is that anytime he goes to squat and put up a shot, he can't get any type of lift or bend in his left knee, and when he's driving from the right, he feels like he's dragging that left leg. Now, Mark, even if the game does go to a Game 7, it is doubtful that he'll play.
All right, thanks, Cheryl. Hey, guys, can Craig be a little more specific on his medical report?
I need more graphic detail.
All right, Parker passed on the 3. Jackson, yes. So Steven Jackson opening up by hitting on his first 2 shots. 4 minutes gone by in this first quarter, and it's San Antonio by 2.
You remember in the second half of Game 5, Jackson took his headband off, Mark. I think that's the secret tonight. His shooting success, the headband's back.
Parker met by Nash as the Spurs set up. Now Duncan goes at LaFrance. And here comes Nash. Finley puts the move on Jackson and finds Van Exel. Good recovery by Bowen. Finley. And San Antonio back to the offense. A live TNT NBA Spanish language feed is now available via SAP. The ball back to the Mavericks. Mavericks are facing their 4th elimination game of the postseason. It's been a bizarre series. The home team has now lost 3 in a row, 4 out of 5 in this best of 7, and that is most unusual. Nash with the step to set it up. LaFrance from Steve Nash.
He is involved in the game tonight, LaFrance, because he's not camping at the 3-point line. He's got 4 rebounds, and he's coming to the rim on penetration.
Defensive 3-second violation. Don Nelson did not like that call on Garrison making the call.
Dribble penetration, forces the big man to step up. When the big man steps up, his man goes right to the front of the rim, catch and finish for the friend.
Here's the technical for Steven Jackson.
Mike, you got to get more excited when Rafe goes to the rim. We have to prod him there.
Jeff, I think you have motivated him to reach new heights tonight with your commentary in the last game. Without question, he went back and not only watched the tape, but listened to what you had to say.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Here's Speedy Claxton, who just came on for the ailing Tony Parker. Jackson. And another rebound for LaFrance.
LaFrance had 0 defensive rebounds in Game 5.
Nelson would like to see LaFrance stay out of foul trouble. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Sean Bradley is available for limited time. Williams fortunate he had more time. He thought the shot clock was all the way down.
I think he might have been trying to step into Duncan to pick up the free throw opportunities. Duncan had enough space between him that he did not land on him.
There's the double on Duncan. Claxton was reluctant to shoot in the 4th quarter the other night. Bowen. Good box out. And last touch by Williams.
I like how Walt Williams has competed as a power forward. He is really doing a good job of putting his body on Duncan, as we see here. He just couldn't pull it in, but I like his competitive spirit.
And now Greg Popovich continues the shuffling. The rookie from Argentina, Manu Ginobili, and Malik Rose come on for David Robinson and Bruce Bowen.
And if I'm Dallas, I make Speedy Claxton make perimeter jump shots. I do not rotate onto him off the double team.
Claxton starts his move. He was held by Finley. That's the first on Finley.
You know, Jeff, if you were not concerned with getting your fast break opportunities, which Greg Popovich realized they must get X number of easy points in transition, you could actually play without Claxton on the floor if he was going to continue to turn down shots. But Popovich has to have a point guard there that can make good decisions and push it down from top of the circle to top of the circle to try and get some easy ones.
And I think Claxton's played very well this series. It's just in half court, when they have a bigger player like Finley on him, he doesn't have to play him. He can just help in the post like right there.
Adrian Griffin, who just checked in, coming up with that errant pass. Here's the double on Finley. An excellent Nash from the guards. Finley, LaFrentz, and Griffin up front. They're looking for the mismatch. Finley being played by Claxton, then Duncan over to help. Nash. And Exel sets it up for Finley. He had the good look.
Nice job defending that time by San Antonio. Took away the potential isolation and then made a couple nice rotations to eventually get back and challenge the shooter.
Don Nelson had to like that sequence, though. He was telling us earlier he likes to see 4 or 5 passes. We saw quite a bit of that in the second half the other night. It was knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Mavs, so Spurs will have 8 on the shot clock.
Sometimes more of a coach will put a limit to how many passes they want. Phil Jackson every once in a while stands up for the Lakers and says 5. That's their 5-pass offense. Ginobili from out of bounds hits the jump shot. Well, Nelson today in shoot-arounds told his team in passing games we want at least 5 touches of the ball.
LaFrentz set up by Nash. And your guy continues to take it to the rim.
This is what he can do. He's a talented player. He's too talented to hang on the perimeter. He's mixing it up tonight.
It counts in the foul. Malik Rose will head to the line. Foul on Adrian Griffin. Malik Rose coming off a 14-point game on Tuesday night.
You'll see his strength and power in here. He just goes right through the defender and taking it to the basket, finishing his shot, and now at the free throw line.
In game 5, the Spurs just 24 of 38 at the foul line. Van Exel is fouled. Foul on Winston. Nick Van Exel, former NBA head coach Bill Fitch, calls the baby-faced killer in an affectionate manner.
And there we jinxed it, Marv. We put up the graphic, 25 straight free throws, and then what happened? Scooter Bertino, our producer, jinxes Nick Van Exel.
Here's Roger Bell for Steve Nash. Rare free throw miss, though, by the Mavericks, who at one point had hit 51 straight through game 2. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining in the first. San Antonio with the ball, up by 2. Finley hedging over. Ginobili. Griffin with the rebound. With that hesitation move, but Jackson able to stay right with him. There's Griffin swinging inside and called for a traveling foul.
He grabbed that foot. He was trying to step underneath. He wanted to get the defense up and then step underneath for his move. He wound up dragging the pivot foot.
Don Nelson actually now has 10 men on his active roster with the addition of the possibility of Sean Bradley being available. Once again, Dirk Nowitzki sitting out with the sprained left knee. Jackson for 3. Ginobili leaping for the rebound. Duncan. So Tim Duncan with 6 points, Spurs 16, and the Mavericks 12.
That's the kind of energy that Manu Ginobili gives this Spurs team. All of a sudden he'll fly in and grab an offensive rebound and give him a second chance opportunity.
Here's Griffin. Adrian Griffin drilling a couple of games back. I recall he was reluctant to take the shot. Don Nelson said you got to shoot the basketball, and he's been looking for his shot here in the first quarter. Nice play by Griffin, and last touch by Jackson.
That all has to do with spacing on the offensive end of the floor. The big man in the post anticipates the double team coming or sees it coming. He's looking for people in certain spot-up areas. The cutter had not gotten there yet. A little more patience by Duncan.
Adrian Griffin, an excellent defensive player. Here's Finley trying to get it to Williams and lost the grip. On the turnover, San Antonio will get it back, but first a timeout. Just under 3 to go in this opening quarter. Feeling out process for both teams. Spurs up by 2.
3 for 4, 5 rebounds, 6 points for LeBron.
And where does it all happen? At the rim. It's happened at the rim.
Remember now, in 9 minutes, already he has 6 points and 5 rebounds. In 24 minutes of game number 5, he had just 9 total points and just 2 rebounds for the entire time.
And none defensively. He's really helped them to hold serve at the defensive end of the floor.
And to this point, only 1 foul committed by LeBron. Here's Claxton using the pick. Duncan able to get to it, and they have the new shot clock. Here's Ginobili, passed on the 3, had nowhere to go in a crowd, but somehow slipped it to Rose, and he was rejected. And Exel backing Claxton. And Exel, Nick Van Exel backing his way against Speedy Claxton, and then using the glass to tie the game at 16.
Well, Jeff just said LeBron has been a factor at the defensive end. That was his rejection that time. He's playing big tonight.
Beautiful quick release by Tim Duncan, who has 8 points. He's 4 of 8 from the field. San Antonio leads by 2. Marv Albert with Bizarre, Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy. Here's LaFrance, way off on his first perimeter attempt.
It's your guy, Jeff.
He's tired right now. He's expending a lot of energy.
Jackson. LaFrance with the rebound. Is there a recruiting process that is going on here?
No, just trying to be a motivating factor. No, he really is tired, though. He's really played hard and played well. They're going to have to give him a blow here pretty soon.
Here's Williams on a catch and shoot. And Duncan pulls it down. As we come up on 1 minute remaining in this first quarter. Game 6 of the Western Conference Final Series. Duncan once again getting terrific position, and the Spurs extend to a 4-point lead.
Something a little different, using a high pick and roll against the zone, screening one of the top people in the zone, then rolling someone right to the heart of it.
And Exel, well, a moment ago, hit from the left side, now from the right. Dallas within 2.
And I do like that adjustment of running more pick and rolls against the zone and getting Duncan on the move.
Claxton, Speedy Claxton with his first field goal.
And after that last pick and roll against the zone, Dallas came back and went man-to-man that time after the score.
And Exel went 2 for 1. Nice back tap by LaFrance. LaFrance again. LaFrance with 8 points, 7 rebounds. There's a 1-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. San Antonio in possession. They're up by 2. Ginobili went behind the back, got himself in trouble, and the ball will go back to Dallas.
And they went too early. They're attacking the basket too early. 1-second differential. Now Dallas has 7 seconds to get up a shot.
It started with Claxton going too early. They wanted a dribble handoff with Ginobili. Claxton went at about 11. Ginobili gets the ball in his hand, does a quick behind-the-back dribble. Now he's in the lane, tied up, in trouble. Still 7 seconds remaining.
I think you should go at 8. 8 on the clock.
If you're going to dribble handoff.
Yeah.
If you're making a straight move on your own, I think you have to bring it down to 6 and then make your move.
Now LaFrance sits down. Nash has come on. Final seconds of this first quarter. Roger Bell with 1.6 remaining. Look out. Almost intercepted. Duncan comes up short. And that's the end of one here in Dallas. The Mavericks and the Spurs are tied at 22. Rafe LaFrance, the story for Dallas in the first quarter.
Big man presence on the inside. Rafe LaFrance steps up. Jeff's been saying it for the last couple of games. He's answered the challenge thus far tonight.
Spurs in downtown San Antonio watching our TNT telecast. Jeff Bizarre's Q rating is through the roof at Fatso.
I think he's really like their mascot. They believe in him.
You know, it's amazing. San Antonio has really great fans. The fans here tonight in this building have been sensational. But when the team comes back home, it's amazing how many fans show up to meet them at the airport. When the players really appreciate it. They talk to us about it.
And Ronald Nahara lost the handle off the lead pass from Steve Nash. And the ball back to San Antonio. Nahara called for the foul.
And Nahara, until last game, had really had trouble finishing. He did on that layup, and then he compounded it by pushing Bowen out of bounds.
Nahara so important in that Mavs comeback. The other night, does it all show up in the box score. Played 33 minutes. And his aggressive play helped turn things in the third quarter. Tony Parker has checked back in. Nahara with the steal. And back comes Nash. Finley off the fake.
There used to be an old college thing that they would talk about against zones. Pass, 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 turn it over. You've eventually got to become aggressive, put it on the floor, or look for a shot, or else the clock is running down against you.
It's the first time the Mavericks have led. Another good play at the defensive end by Nahara. Ginobili was trying to draw a foul. Finley thought he was fouled. And you can hear the reaction from the crowd. Finley thought he was fouled again as play continues. Williams with the fake. And the ball fake. The Wizard with two fakes. One as he started his drive, and then as he cut to the rim. Dallas by 4. San Antonio, 3 turnovers their last 3 possessions. Ginobili. And that is turnover number 4, an offensive foul. Ginobili called for the charge.
Roger Bell does a good job of moving his feet. His body is clearly in front of Ginobili. Ginobili lowers the shoulder a little bit and goes right through the defensive man. I think it's a good call.
That's a very good call.
Tim Duncan telling his teammates, settle down. Let's settle down. Mavericks up by 4, 2 minutes into the second quarter. Nahara with another rebound. Williams. And a foul on Parker making contact.
When you play with a guy like Nahara, you get excited. The thing I like most about Nahara is he plays with courage and without any care for his body. He'll hit the floor, he'll hit somebody else. He plays with courage.
Nahara did an excellent job against Tim Duncan in the fourth quarter. The other night he held him to 2 shots, 3 points. Here's Williams. Yes. Williams with a couple of buckets to extend to a 6-point lead. A 10-0 for Dallas, and San Antonio will talk it over.
The Wizards want Williams involved. Top of the circle action. Somebody late coming out to him. Williams decides to tee it up. Beautiful look that time. Right under the rim. Ball going in.
We're still between a rock and a hard place, behind the 8 ball, as they say, in a tough spot. But you know, at least we beat the alternative in Game 5. We're back in the thing anyway. We're at home, and we can only hope now that there'll be a Game 7. And we only hope to play them one at a time and do the best we can in this game and get back there.
Guys, that from the coach's handbook. I think Don was, let's say, right on the money because his team's back was to the wall.
It's do or die. That was beautiful. I mean, he had them all in there behind the rock and a hard place, behind the 8 ball. Tough spot. Hope for Game 7. One at a time.
Mavericks have a 6-point lead, 2.5 gone by in the second. Good job on Duncan. Rebounded by Rose. Malik Rose going to the boards and hitting on the follow. 28-24, Dallas.
And when you're playing small, where you're most vulnerable is on the board, San Antonio's got to make that a big part of their offense.
Picked off by Parker. Parker with Ginobili. Parker takes all the way and lost it. He thought he was fouled. Now the Mavericks will reset. Williams. It barely grazed the net.
Tony Parker trying to take advantage of one of those transition opportunities. He feels fresh. He just came up with the steal. He sees the opening, tries to split it. And there is clearly hit 2 different times. No foul call.
Tony Parker playing despite the stomach flu. As Rose works his way inside, he's called for the foul. Offensive foul. He pushed out.
You see Rose in the middle of the blue paint. And watch what happens. It's the push away with the free arm as he steps in and looks for the pass with the right hand. It's the left arm that does the damage.
Disagree. Play on. That is, if you're going to play in the paint, you should not get the benefit because you're small and flop around. Malik Rose, legitimate post-up.
Shot clock to 6. Nahara, wild attempt. Once again, it's Nahara. Body to body on Duncan, is able to spin away. There's no help. And Nahara trying to get physical. Good first half for Duncan. He now has 12. Williams met by Duncan. They once again have to regroup. Shot clock down to 7. Roger Bell checking that shot clock. Roger Bell. Offensive foul. Now the officials checking with each other.
I want to make sure that they get this thing straight before they make the call. You'll see Roger Bell split the defense. And now Rose stepping up. Call for an offensive foul right there. Rose clearly above the white line and set.
What they were checking with each other wasn't whether he was set or not. That's up to Steve Javie. Steve Javie said he was set. What they were discussing was he outside that restricted area like you were saying, Mike? And he clearly was.
So you agree for a change?
With you or with the referee?
Just in general, both agree. Okay.
I'm a very agreeable guy.
28-26, Dallas. It's Parker over Williams. Quick release by Williams. Williams looking for his shot. He now has 6 points. Mavericks up by 4.
But interesting, Jeff Hazard, the way a different guy travel right there. Rose dragging that foot. I was saying it's interesting how a different guy for Dallas has seemed to step up during different quarters. And Nelly said, you know what, I've been coaching like to win quarters, trying to stay close enough so that we still have a chance at the end. You see LaFrentz have a big first quarter. Williams now making shots. They've taken their turn.
Well, he knows if he can get it into a 1 or 2 possession game in the 4th quarter, pressure falls to San Antonio. They don't shoot free throws well. It makes it difficult.
Once again, LaFrentz trying to take it to the basket. And last touch by LaFrentz. The Spurs have committed 4 turnovers over the last 5 minutes of this quarter. You see Tim Duncan sitting out. David Robinson is back on. Parker and Jackson at the guard. Robinson, Bowen. Rose up front. Robinson gets position. David Robinson able to set up down deep. San Antonio within 2. Walt Williams has scored the last 6 points for the Mavericks. LaFrentz. Now Bell. Here's Nash. Yes. He had a foot on the line. It's a 2-pointer. Mavericks 32. The Spurs 28. First field goal for Steve Nash. Nick Van Exel getting ready to return. And the call away from the ball. It is on Dallas. Timeout is being called. Foul on LaFrance, his second.
Nash spotting up all by himself. You must be closer to Steve Nash. He's too good a shooter.
You want to carry for me tomorrow, Kenny?
What's going on in the green room?
Fairways and greens, baby. I had the dock and the boat ready last game. I had the lines in the water. I had to put it all up. What time we teeing out tomorrow? I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. Ernie, you want to play golf with us tomorrow?
I don't want to play golf.
You want to play with Dirk? Why?
Because you're playing. Magic, what do you think of the first half so far? It's 32-28.
Well, I think it's definitely Dallas's pace. I think Coach Van Gundy is right, as well as Coach Fratello, is that they're getting it from different people. Ray LaFrance played a great first quarter, and now Williams is picking his game up.
He's one of them coaching. Why you call him coach?
I know. Well, they're getting ready to be coached.
Oh, okay.
Van Gundy better hurry up and choose a job so everybody else can get a job.
Okay, some advice coming from the green room.
Chuck, where you want to go? I want to be a consultant. 200 grand a year, Coach Van Gundy.
There you go, Jeff.
Starting tomorrow.
I believe you turned him down just the other day.
Oh. Got it.
Offensive foul on Robinson. That's his second.
But I like that move by Robinson. He's going to the rim, and he's going to go through people. Here he ducks in. Again, if you're small, you got to take that punishment inside. Oh, that's just a nice turn to the basket. I like that move by David Robinson, and I like when they throw up the ball in the paint to get him involved.
5.5 remaining in this first half. Roger Bell for Eduardo Nahara. Shot clock down to 3, and Nahara has to fire. Oh, the steal by Bell. Took it away from Robinson. Van Exel. Oh, a driving hook by Nick Van Exel. Mavericks lead by 6.
Well, that's been the secret for Dallas. They have found a way last game and this game to out-hustle San Antonio, make things happen with the extra effort that they're giving out there.
We were talking about that earlier with Greg Popovich. He said in looking at the tape, Jackson off the mark, rebounded by Finley. He said for the most part it was Eduardo Nahara in the second half. He was on every loose ball. Here's Van Exel, not a good shot. Try to get it off against the 7-footer Robinson. Bowen. And back comes Dallas. San Antonio's not shot well. They're now 39% from the field. Here's Bell. Van Exel from downtown. Yes. Mavericks have their biggest lead of the night. They're up by 9.
To me, the biggest difference in the game on the perimeter is Dallas's perimeter players are more decisive than San Antonio's right now.
Jackson. Well, Stephen Jackson has been decisive with that shot. He now has 8 points. Mavericks up by 6, just under 4 to go in this first half. And Eduardo Nahara off a beautiful lead from Steve Nash.
Don Nelson mentioned to us earlier tonight that it was nice that Nahara at least got to make a couple baskets last game. Up to that point, everything was being rejected by San Antonio.
And a foul on Nahara.
You see Nash come in, use the screen, bounce it on the floor, and Nahara protecting with the left arm, finishing with the right hand. And there we see the hands on the wrist by Nahara, the foul to prevent the basket.
Nahara admits that he was totally exhausted at the end of the game the other night. Don Nelson said that Nahara was pleading to come out a couple of times. Nelson said he pretended that he didn't see him, just ignored him. Well, the NBA Finals will tip off June the 4th at 8 o'clock on ABC. You can log on to NBA.com for a look ahead at the potential matchups, including a statistical breakdown for all the teams. Love it live on NBA.com. Here's Nash. Steve Nash with just 1 field goal, but he does have 8 assists. He's been excellent as the setup man. Braxton with his second field goal.
Yeah, I love that. He caught it, were backed off of him, and he shot it. There was no thought of a pass, and there was no thought of a drive. Catch and shoot.
And Exel, yes. And he's looking for the foul. 41-35, Dallas. Trying to tie the series at 3 to send it back to San Antonio for Game 7 on Saturday. Williams trying to draw the charge. Mahara with yet another rebound. Nash looking to orchestrate. Mahara firing one off glass and trying to play the ricochet.
He saw Tracy McGrady do that. Throw the glass, catch it, and dunk it, so he thought he'd try it.
There's Jackson again for three. Steven Jackson keeping the Spurs in this first half. He now has 11 points. It's a 3-point Dallas lead for Jackson, his second from beyond that 3-point line.
And again, that was a very decisive shot by Jackson.
That was a bad pass by Williams. He tried a touch pass. He never had possession. As a result, San Antonio will get it back.
I don't know a guy that makes more difficult shots than Nick Van Exel. Floating, on the move, his total concentration, and his ability to finish. And then this guy's had it going since the beginning of the game. Steven Jackson with the three-pointer.
You run around blaming these murders on a dead yacht. That's what's happening, Cole.
Thomas Gibson, Katherine Heigl in a Superstation original movie. Evil Never Dies. Sunday, 8 Eastern, 9 Pacific. Only on TBS Superstation.
From TNT. Nature selects you to be a cold-blooded killer, and that is what you are. Alec Baldwin.
What did they tell you?
Second Nature. See the world premiere Sunday, June 22nd at 8. Only on TNT.
The man Maniac. Come on, follow the sign.
Buddy, pick yourself a little bit, Mono. Put your hand here. Go like that.
You're all right, baby. Come on. You're all right.
I'm old. My hand shakes. Your hand shouldn't shake. Stay straight. Relax. All right? Come on now.
Well, Manu Ginobili is an NBA rookie, but he is 25 years old, a guy with big game experience overseas. And Greg Popovich happened to look over and see that his hands were shaking.
Yeah, but we can't forget, this is not an old veteran team as far as the key guys that are playing the main minutes for San Antonio. Tony Parker's 21 years old. Claxton is young. I don't care what Ginobili did in Europe. This is the NBA right now. You're trying to get to the championship round.
Kevin Willis has checked in for the first time, and that shot way off. Mavericks with a 3-point lead, just under 2 to go in the first half. Game 6 of the Western Conference Final Series. Dallas trying to tie it at 3. They'll head back to San Antonio for Game 7 on Saturday. Spurs looking to wrap it here tonight and head to the NBA Finals. Claxton able to get to it. Crowd looking for a foul on the Spurs. They thought Nash was hit. And away from the ball, Duncan called for the foul on Nahara. That's the first on Duncan.
Hey, Jeff, go ahead. It's another small guy getting in the way of a big guy. So what do you have here in this one?
No, that's a good call. He clearly had established legal guarding position. Foul on Duncan. Don't run over him. Spin off him. Get in your spot.
Duncan has about 4 inches on Nahara. He's listed at 6'8". Van Exel. Duncan tried to back tap, and Claxton runs it down with 1 minute to go in the half. Ginobili passed on the 3. Claxton feeling confident. It counts, and a foul away from the ball. So the basket counts, but a foul is called. Loose ball foul on Willis.
That's Kevin Willis, who was inserted here with about 2 minutes remaining. Maybe the two most important minutes for Kevin Willis, because this can give Popovich the confidence to play him more minutes in the second half. Very physical. Willis will bang you down inside. You see him establishing position to offensive rebound. That time he just bangs right into Nahara.
14th foul on San Antonio. Now Willis heads back to the bench. 40 seconds remaining of the half. Dallas up by 1. Finley, yes, a line drive over Jackson. 3-point Maverick lead. At Popovich bed with Speedy Claxton, who's played well until that point as he turns it over. Tony Parker obviously has not been himself because of the stomach flu, has not played well. 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Here's Williams for 3. Williams from downtown. 6 seconds remaining in the half. Jackson met by the double. Duncan gets it off in time. That's the end of the first half. The Mavericks with a 46-40 lead on the Spurs. Once again, Dallas doing it without the injured Dirk Nowitzki. And getting strong performances in the first half from Nick Van Exel, who leads the way with 12. 9 apiece from Walt Williams and Michael Finley and Rafe LaFrance with 8 points. Let's go to Cheryl with Rafe LaFrance.
Rafe, you were able to get off to a quick start in the first quarter. What did you try to do differently tonight in the first half?
Just try to be active, try to pursue the basketball on the defensive rebound, and just run the floor. My teammates got me open on a lot of pick-and-roll situations, and I got a lot of looks right at the basket.
Defensively, what are you going to try to do in the second half? Are you guys going to continue to stay in the zone, and how are you going to continue to try to stay out of foul trouble?
Well, hopefully more of the same. We feel like the zone's been doing good for us the last two times out. Try and keep Tim as confused as possible, because if he touches it, you're dead.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
We'll send it back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Cheryl. San Antonio led by Tim Duncan, who has 12. Steven Jackson with 11. Mavericks have led by as many as 9. They have the lead here at the half, 46-40. We'll be back to Dallas in a moment. Center with Dallas in front of San Antonio as we head to the second half. Mavericks up by 6. Marv Albert, Jeff Van Gundy, the Czar, Mike Fratello, and Czar. Here are the Spurs trailing by 6, and for the most part, the offense has been Tim Duncan and Steven Jackson. And Duncan much more assertive than we've seen in recent games.
Well, clearly, in the last game, for the entire game, he had just 15 field goal attempts, but he got to the foul line mark 12 times. Tonight already in the first half, 14 field goal attempts, but 0 free throw attempts. Look at how it breaks down as far as who's defending him. You can see when they do get a double team on him, it's been very effective. Just 1 for 5 against double teams.
Jeff, as for Dallas, they're getting offense from sources that have not produced offense for the most part in this series. Walt Williams and Rafe LaFrance.
In a combined 31 minutes, they have 17 points, 7 for 13 from the field, 9 rebounds, and what that has done has helped offset Steve Nash only scoring 1 hoop.
Mavericks with an excellent shooting first half at 48%. San Antonio at 42. Steve Nash has led the way in the assist department with 8. Tony Parker is back despite the stomach flu. Finley from Nash, assist number 9 for Nash, and the Mavericks lead by 8.
Greg Popovich said it to us today about Steven Jackson's defense. He hasn't been in the oven long enough to be fully baked defensively. And right there was an example where he gambled on the curl play.
Offensive foul on Duncan. That's his second personal.
And you see the white shirts converge to the basketball. Williams taking the offensive foul. That's on Tim Duncan. Can't believe it.
Mavericks with a backcourt of Van Exel and Nash. Up front, Finley, LaFrance, and Williams. Once again, Dirk Nowitzki sidelined by the sprained knee, sitting out for a third straight game. As we mentioned earlier, Sean Bradley is available. Don Nelson said earlier he might use him in spots. Air ball that lands out of bounds, so San Antonio gets it back. And Greg Popovich going with his starting lineup with Duncan, Robinson, and Bowen on the front line, and Jackson and Parker in the back court. Here's Parker.
That's not his type of shot right there.
Well, he's 0 for 4 in the first half, just trying to get himself to the foul line, maybe.
And Parker called for steps. Here's a look at our deep game summary. I mentioned the shooting percentages are a role reversal on the part of Spurs and Mavericks.
Normally it's San Antonio that's got everybody shooting at 40 or 41%. Right now, Dallas has the Spurs shooting in the low 40s.
Steve Nash extends to a 10-point lead, the biggest of the night for the Mavericks. San Antonio a timeout.
Hey, Bobby.
Well, I would rent a car for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Why not get right to the good part? Like Southwest Airlines Rapid Rewards. Forget counting miles. Fly just 4 round trips and get 1 free by receiving double credit when you book at southwest.com.
You're now free to move about the country.
And now it's all Holyfield.
You know, for $1 million, I would totally go around with Holyfield. What? What? How bad could it be?
That's all you got?
Tell it over a great-tasting, less-filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Look at this. The ring girl likes me.
Morning. Morning.
Isn't it nice to see when someone's got their priorities straight? We do at Burger King, so we cook every original Whopper to fire-grilled perfection for $1.99. Come on over. The fire's ready.
It takes more than an individual to win a championship. It takes a team. Everyone working together, playing defense, leaving their egos at the door. It's old school basketball. And those who know its secrets will show what it takes to become a champion. The finals are coming. Game 1, June 4th at 8 p.m. on ABC.
TNT's exclusive coverage of the NBA Western Conference Finals is brought to you by Burger King. The sourdough bacon cheeseburger is back for a limited time. And NikeBasketball.com.
In 1991, 6 men set off on a collision course with history. George Clooney.
This is the moment of truth.
Mark Wahlberg. The Perfect Storm. Sunday night at 8 on TNT.
Well, that last time out by Greg Popovich was to get Tony Parker out of the game. At halftime, they tried to pump him up with fluids. He had 2 bottles of liters of also some energy drink. However, they said, we'll give you 1 look here at the start of the 3rd quarter, but not hesitate to put Speedy Claxton back in the game. What is really bothering Popovich now is the rebounding edge that Dallas has. He says, how can he let Ray LaFrance have more rebounds in the 1st quarter than he's had in any of the previous 8 games?
Frank, Coach Nelson said there were 2 things he really wanted his team to focus on. Number 1, defensively, keep the pressure on the Spurs. And number 2, they've got to find Steven Jackson and contain him. He seems to have the hot hand for the Spurs. And right now, they just want to get after it and close this team out. Mark?
Yes, Steven Jackson, 4 of 8 from the field, including 2 from downtown. He has 11 points. Dallas with its biggest lead of the night. They're up by 10, a minute and 40 gone by in the 3rd. Claxton. LaFrentz with another rebound. The Mavericks looking to send this to a 7th and deciding game that will take place in San Antonio at the SBC Center on Saturday night and here on TNT. Nash for LaFrentz. Steve Nash with 10 assists, and Rafe LaFrentz continues to excel. He now has 10 points, 8 rebounds, 2 block shots. Duncan rebounded by Finley. Williams, that pass too strong for LaFrentz.
I like what Greg Popovich did last time. He brought Tim Duncan up into the high post area, and if he hits Duncan and uses him, Duncan they can look low, or if he goes to the weak side of the floor, he's got 2 wide open shooters because Duncan's drawing so much attention. This time it's Robinson up high.
Bowen tried the 3, and a foul. Foul is called on Claxton.
Lamar, there is no good offense versus a sagging defense if you don't knock down perimeter shots.
It's now an 11-0 run for Dallas that goes back to late second quarter. 3 minutes gone by here in the third. Van Exel working on Duncan and threw it away. Looking to put a move on to draw a foul. Here's Jackson. Steven Jackson off the turnover by Van Exel. Mavericks 52 and the Spurs 42. For Dallas, this is their 20th game of the postseason. For San Antonio, their 18th game of the playoffs. Williams for 3. And the Mavericks hoping to avoid being the first team in NBA history to play 20 or more games in the playoffs and not make it to the NBA Finals. David Robinson now has 7. Mavericks lead by 11.
Well, on the last jumper by Williams, David Robinson was facing us at the table here. You could see him actually say, oh, man, he knew that he didn't get back in time and showed up and paid for it.
LaFrentz on the back tap, a loose ball foul called on LaFrentz.
And even though David Robinson knew it, and even though he dunked it at the other end, they're going to make the change because they're going to bring Rose in for Robinson because they know they need to start getting stopped. They're not a team that can win usually when they give up 50% shooting. He's got to get, Greg Popovich has got to get defenders in there who can play off the switch of the pick and roll.
That was a 3rd on LaFrentz. Rose, nice lead pass thrown by Bowen. And the Mavs lead by 9.
Start the ball on one side, reverse it to the weak side, and look into the low post area. That's just what San Antonio did.
Beautiful pass. LaFrentz not able to hit, but does on the follow. Walt Williams set it up for Rafe LaFrentz.
And that's because Tim Duncan was out high showing and helping, and he couldn't recover in time to get back to LaFrentz in the low post area.
How about 12 points, 10 rebounds for LaFrentz. Here's the double on Duncan. LaFrentz on the rebound.
You saw the disgust on Duncan's face, but that's normally a layup for Tim Duncan. He gets that 3-foot shot. He makes 9 out of 10 of those.
Finley looking to put the move on Jackson. Shot clock down to 5. Finley. And Claxton is on it. Once again, Dallas gets back. They've been excellent in transition. And a bad pass. Too much on it.
Well, it starts with all the sagging. Dallas is putting 3 and 4 guys into the paint. If you're the perimeter players of San Antonio, there can be no doubt and no hesitation in what you're doing. And right now there is.
See, Jeff, here's what I see. They have such good people on their team, San Antonio. They want to do what the coach wants them to do, and that is share the ball, reverse the ball, make extra passes, don't take hurried shots. Well, against packed-in defenses like that, there you are standing out there, you're trying to do what the team wants you to do. It's confusing to the players sometimes. They don't become aggressive.
Williams was sitting on the floor and trying to get to it. He thought he was fouled. Nahara has come on for LaFrench, who heard it from this crowd. What a performance by Rafe LaFrench here tonight. Rose, nice move by Malik Rose. 8 points for Rose. Mavericks 57, Spurs 48. Just under 6 remaining in the third. Shot clock down to 3. Van Exel. And Claxton pushes it. Nahara jumping out. And it's no, not deflected. Let's see. Claxton claims it was deflected, but he threw it away. It will be Dallas back in possession.
It was either deflected or they grabbed his wrist on that one of the two.
Mavericks have led most of the way. They've led by as many as 13. They're up here by 9. Finley looking to post up. Finley, yes. Michael Finley with 13, and the Mavericks lead 59-48.
And there's no doubt Dallas is going at Steven Jackson. Jackson's playing well on offense. He's got to tighten up his defense.
And that was last touch by the Mavericks. Now Don Nelson continues to shuffle. Here's Adrian Griffin for Walt Williams. Done a good job. 5 of 11, 12 points for the Wizards. 13 on the shot clock. Claxton rejected. Nahara set the screen. Van Exel, yes, and the foul. Foul on Ginobili, and Van Exel heads to the line.
Claxton was the inbound passer. He stepped in and got a return pass. That one's rejected. And then Van Exel making contact with Ginobili, scores the basket. They come off the bench to congratulate Nick.
However, Van Exel misses the free throw. Dallas is actually only 3 of 5 at the line tonight after hitting all 23 in Game 5. Ginobili shoots the 3. And a loose ball foul against the Mavericks. The Spurs have been just awful from downtown. In the series, they're under 30%. They've shot 17% from that three-point line in the fourth quarter. They were at 35% during the season.
And as Greg Popovich says, he has no control over whether they make or miss. But what San Antonio does have control, you see a great save by Finley, is how well they defended rebounds. They're doing neither tonight.
Oh, Nash all the way. It has been an onslaught by the Mavericks in the third quarter. 22nd timeout called by San Antonio. The Mavericks lead by 15.
You can see the energy that Dallas is playing with, and it starts to force down. Nash taking it, splitting the defensive transition, finishing with his left hand. Greg Popovich calls that timeout. He's trying to regroup his troops, trying to get them to re-energize and understand that, okay, what happened to us, we can make happen to them. Let's cut this thing back down in the last 4 minutes of this quarter and then go to work in the fourth quarter. But right now, he's got to bring this group back together again, because when things go bad, you tend to splinter off.
And, Mike, I think Duncan could maybe go to a little bit of facing up in the post. Face the basket. That way you can see the whole floor. Maybe get some weak side cutters so that it's not the same look.
Our statistician Paul Evans pointing out that Tim Duncan has been scoreless the last 16 minutes. This is what we saw the fourth quarter the other night. Jackson surprised Rose. Malik was not looking for the pass. He thought Jackson was about to take the jump shot. Getting back to Duncan, he's attempted only 3 shots, 0 for 3 over the last 16 minutes. Once again, Dallas has done a nice job swarming all over Duncan.
Mark, there's always 2 guys assigned to him. You want him to keep taking bad shots. If he's double teamed, that's the play.
And a loose ball foul. It is on Claxton. Claxton called for the push. That's his 3rd foul.
Claxton down inside, trying to box out the bigger and stronger Griffin, so he's fighting for his life down there, but a little too much holding.
And now here is Steve Kerr with Greg Popovich looking for a spark. Remember Steve Kerr made a couple of appearances, hit some free throws several games back, has seen limited action this season. A guy with much championship experience. So with Parker not feeling well and Claxton picking up that 3rd foul, Kerr has come on. 15-point Dallas lead as we come up on 3 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter. Duncan. Griffin able to tear it away from Rose. Griffin pops it back to Van Exel. And Rose with the rebound. Jackson, strong move. He was fouled. Jackson will go to the line. And a timeout is called by Dallas. Nahara commits the foul. His 3rd. 2:55 remaining in this 3rd quarter. It's the Mavericks 63, the Spurs 48. Dallas hoping to bring it to a Game 7 Saturday night in the Alamo City.
The finals are coming June 4th at 8 p.m. on ABC.
Doesn't Miller Lite taste great? Less filling!
Wait. What about this? Doesn't Miller Lite taste great?
Great taste! Great taste! Less filling! Great taste! Less filling! Less filling!
What do you think about that? That's art.
Tell it over a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
I've got an idea.
We just stole $35 million worth of gold.
What are you doing? I made a few plans of my own.
He took their gold.
I can't move on until I've set things right.
Tomorrow,
You want to start the game up again? That's fine with me.
it's time for payback.
You ready?
Absolutely.
I don't do dogs. I had a bad experience.
What happened?
I had a bad experience.
The game is over. You're out of moves.
He's got no imagination.
The Italian Job. Rated PG-13. Starts tomorrow everywhere.
Shipping durability testing. Electrostatic surge simulation. Extreme environment performance analysis.
Hey!
Structural integrity. You name it, we do it. Over 11,000 hours of internal and external testing per Dell model.
Harsh.
But effective.
Right, that's why Dell is one rock solid, reliable PC.
Can you imagine?
You have no idea.
Now you can get a Dimension desktop with a 17-inch monitor and an Intel Pentium 4 processor for just $499 after mail-in rebate. Call or go online now, and you'll get free shipping. And check out our new notebooks. You're not just getting quality, you're getting a Dell.
And now over here, the torsion chamber.
Rock-solid PCs. Easy as Dell. Dell PCs use Intel Pentium 4 processors.
Back in Dallas, we're set for our game-by-game head coaching update, a very popular feature during our coverage. There was a published report earlier today saying that the Hornets are closing in on offering you the head coaching job. What's going on with that?
Marv, I saw a gentleman tonight from the source of that rumor and asked where that ever came from. There is absolutely no truth to that.
Jeff, 76ers, I know, contacted you. I know that you did speak with the Sixers. What's the latest there?
Well, I spoke to Billy King for about an hour, and after we got done with that talk, we both agreed that that wasn't a good fit for me for the 76ers, and so they'll find someone great. Billy King's done a great job in his time with the Sixers.
So it's down to Houston, Cleveland, and TNT. All in the ballpark. Just under 3 to go in the third. And Dallas with the commanding lead. Greg Popovich a moment ago inserting Steve Kerr for the first time tonight. Steve played 2 minutes in game 3, 1 minute in game number 4. And the foul is called a hold on Jackson.
Remember, those 2 free throws by Steven Jackson finally get San Antonio to 10 points for this quarter. They had 40 at the half, just 50 now with 2:50 remaining in the third quarter.
Nash being played by Kerr, and they clear it out for Nash. Has to give it up. Shot clock down to 5. Griffin called for the foul. Offensive foul.
Now Griffin knows that this is much, much too hard. When he pulls this right shoulder back into Rhodes, this is clearly an offensive foul.
And that's one of Malik Rose's greatest strengths, is he's got the ability to move his feet and keep people in front of him.
37-year-old Steve Kerr in his 15th NBA season, getting it to Steven Jackson. Another 3 for Jackson. He has 18 points. That's his third from downtown, so it's down to a 10-point Maverick lead.
Greg Popovich can start selling right now. He can sell that story about these last 2 minutes being so important. They're down to 10. Can they cut it to less than that?
Griffin. Adrian Griffin with his second field goal. Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Coach Popovich has been working the bench, not only talking to the players, but also the doctors. Dr. Paul Saenz said Tony Parker is all right medically to continue playing. However, Coach Popovich says you got to give him some more fluids to raise his energy level.
Mark, how about Steve Kerr on his first attempt hitting the 3? One of the great three-point shooters in the history of the NBA. Steve Kerr off the bench to connect. Nash played on a switch by Duncan. Rebounded by Griffin. Adrian Griffin has done a nice job.
The problem is on that switch, Kerr wound up on Griffin. Griffin winds up getting the second shot opportunity back now for Dallas as they run this shot clock down.
Steve Kerr huffing and puffing as he defends on Michael Finley. Finley goes right at him. Shot clock at 3. Nahara rejected by Duncan. It's a 3-on-2. Ginobili taking to the rim.
But very decisive. Jackson 3, Kerr 3, and the Ginobili drive. I like how their perimeter's playing right now.
Foul committed by Ginobili. San Antonio now over the foul limit. That's 3 on Ginobili. So with 39 seconds remaining in the third, San Antonio in the penalty. Rafe LaFrance is up, getting set to check back in. Nick Van Exel to the foul line. Nick only 1 of 3 at the line. Well, it's the drama of NASCAR on TNT. It all begins July the 3rd. For complete schedule information, you can log on to NASCAR.com.
Marv, looking at the halftime sheet, Tim Duncan had 12 points at the half, and looking at the update right now, Tim Duncan still has 12 points. That means the entire third quarter, 0 points thus far for Tim Duncan. They are effectively smothering him with double and triple teams.
Dallas up by 10. Ginobili for 3. He just cannot get into it. That was the case the other night. Had the big game 2 games back. Playoff career high 21. Ginobili tonight is 1 of 5 from the field. Final seconds of the third. They're on their feet here at American Airlines Center. Van Exel going at Kerr with the hesitation move. Sets it up for Williams. Yes! From downtown with 1/10 of a second remaining in the third quarter.
At the end of 3, Mavericks 69. Spurs 56.
Williams concluding the third from beyond that 3-point line.
That's about as good as you're going to be able to contest the shot in that particular situation. Ginobili's hand was at the ball. Just a great shot by Walt Williams to end the quarter.
The Mavericks with a 13-point lead as they seek to take this series back to San Antonio for a Game 7. It has been an excellent performance for the Dallas Mavericks as we head to the fourth quarter. He's everywhere.
Looks a little different though. Tonight he's been working out, obviously.
We welcome you back to Dallas, Texas. Marv Albert, Bizarre, Mike Fratello, Jeff Van Gundy, Greg Sager, Gerald Miller working the sideline. And for the Spurs, it has come down to this fourth quarter. They're hoping to wrap it here tonight. Nice move by Manu Ginobili. They were hoping to wrap it in San Antonio on Tuesday night. But the Mavericks, with that stirring come-from-behind effort, down by as many as 19 in the first half, trailing by 17 in the third quarter. They concluded by outscoring the Spurs 50-21 over the last 19 minutes. Not the case here tonight. Dallas has led most of the way. Van Exel way off. Did not hit the rim, so it's a 24-second violation.
Everyone tries to attack Steve Kerr. We found out when we used to play him against the Bulls, a much better defender than people gave him credit for, can really stay in front of people.
Steve Kerr back with San Antonio, spent 3 years with the Spurs, then went on to Portland. Duncan coming up short. Tim Duncan has been scoreless the last 21 minutes. 1 for his last 8. Van Exel going at Kerr and scoring.
Well, going back to Duncan, you're talking about the league's MVP. He was 5 for 10 in the first quarter, 1 for 8 since then, just 2 points. It's not going to happen with San Antonio unless he does a little more stuff as far as putting numbers on the glass.
And Duncan is fouled. Foul on Van Exel, only his first. And a look at the Mavericks' big 3 tonight, once again going without Dirk Nowitzki, Walt Williams, 15. How about Rafe LaFrance with 21? Steve Nash has been the orchestrator, 11 assists for Nash. Meanwhile, Duncan at the line for only the first time tonight, coming off the 5 of 12 in Game 5 this past Tuesday.
Mark, think about it. Right now, Walt Williams has outscored Tim Duncan. If that happens, no way San Antonio has enough firepower to win. We get so used to him being dominant. When he has a bad game, difficult for the Spurs.
Shot clock to 5. Down to 2. Van Exel. Jackson handles the outlet. Again, the Mavericks get back. Naharon matches up with Jackson. Jackson has had the hot hand. Ginobili open. Yes. Manu Ginobili hits the three. He has 7. Mavericks now lead 71-62, and San Antonio showing some signs.
And Duncan held the ball long enough and sucked in the second defender deep enough that when they swung it, they had the wide open Ginobili on the weak side of the floor.
Offensive foul. Steve Kerr was able to draw it. He took the push from Walt Williams.
And a great switch by Greg Popovich. Instead of having Kerr guard Van Exel, he has him guarding Walt Williams. Kerr's fighting in the post. The right elbow is what was called by Steve Javie. A good call, but an excellent move by Greg Popovich.
And Dallas right now just switched their defense. Don Nelson goes back to his man-to-man defense. No more combination for this series.
Nash and Griffin have checked back in for the Mavericks. Jackson, not a good shot. And deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the Mavericks. So San Antonio will have the new 24.
Even though the dark jersey comes over the top, it's tough to tell whether it was not the white jersey that tipped it last.
Jackson for 3. Yes! Steven Jackson shooting the Spurs back into it. He now has 21. Mavericks have led by as many as 15. It's down to 6.
3 perimeter offensive threats are on the floor, and they're all taking the shot in rhythm.
Finley had it knocked away by Ginobili. Here comes Jackson. Spreads it out. And then shoots. Yes! Another 3 for Steven Jackson. It's a 3-point game. Timeout called by the Mavericks. That's his 5th 3 of the night.
This is when you have to let a player go. He's feeling it right now. He comes down in transition. There is no hesitation. He's going up with it.
A 10-0 run for the Spurs. Right back into it. Over the last minute and 50 seconds, a 10-0 run by San Antonio, propelled by the streak shooting Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson gets to the right spot, is ready to receive a pass from his teammates, so he's in position to hit a spot-up 3 from different areas on the floor. We see that time a little bit to the left, this time in the middle, and now the last one in transition, he decides, I've got it going, and he keeps it flow.
And suddenly the Spurs, who have struggled from three-point land, are on fire. 7 of 13 from beyond that three-point line. They've hit 5 of the last 6 field goals from downtown. 3-point Dallas lead. They've led by as many as 15. Finley putting the moves on Kerr. And Kerr able to tip it to Ginobili.
You saw Don Nelson go right to the switch, pick and roll, switch, got Kerr on Finley. He felt that Finley would be able to shoot it over the top of Kerr.
Ginobili slipping it through to Rose. He's fouled by LaFrance.
But if you notice the offensive strategy right now for San Antonio, they're not just throwing it into Tim Duncan low post. That ball is moving. They got some pick and rolls. Their good defense is igniting some transition offense. It's not just on Duncan's shoulders right now.
So what Don Nelson does is he's going to counter now. He's going to bring back Nick Van Exel, who we know can be a streaky, hot shooter scorer from both inside on his drives or from deep downtown. And he's bringing his energy guy in, Eduardo Nahara, to defend and rebound and do some dirty work.
Rose 0 for 2 at the line tonight. He's become a solid free throw shooter, just under 80% during the regular season, but misses on both. San Antonio has had huge problems at the line, particularly in the fourth quarter. Nash played on a switch by Duncan. And Finley stepped out of bounds. He was backing up, and he had the pivot foot out of bounds.
Steve Kerr, so smart. When his man cleared across the lane, he knew that Duncan had a bad mismatch, a guard that could provide him. Kerr just stayed there, basically zoned off the bottom to give Duncan help from behind.
4th turnover by the Mavericks. In this fourth quarter, San Antonio does not have any. Finley. Van Exel for three. And the Mavericks have been off here on the fourth.
Jeff, Ginobili's missed his last two shots because he's trying to curl the ball, kind of finger roll it in.
Rose blocked by Williams. Rose on the recovery is fouled by Nahara. For the Mavericks, their third team foul, and Malik Rose is upset. He's taken a physical pounding in this series, and usually it has been Nahara as the guy's been making the contact on Malik.
You'll see back in game one when Malik Rose goes down, Nahara's knee hits him in the back of the head. He lost the feeling in both arms at that time. Then you see the elbow, a late elbow, as LaFrentz is trying to clear himself. He gets hit in the chin.
Here's Kerr for three. Yes! Steve Kerr, a member of 4 straight NBA championship teams, 3 with the Bulls. Then in 1999 with the Spurs has come off the bench to hit 2 threes. The game is tied at 71. Nash saving the backcourt violation. Nash picked up by Duncan. Nash forced it. Look out, Kerr diving for it, able to tip it, and Jackson is on it.
You're exactly right. That was Steve Kerr that dove for that thing and kept it alive.
Jackson changed his mind. Good decision. Kerr with another three. Yes! And an incredible display by the 37-year-old Steve Kerr since he has entered the game. San Antonio has outscored Dallas 26-8. The Spurs up by 3. Nash for 3. And Ginobili able to hustle it down.
This is just what we saw from Dallas in the fourth quarter of the last game. Total energy reversal, total momentum change. Same thing for San Antonio here tonight.
Now Duncan backing Nahara. Tim Duncan with his first field goal in 27 minutes.
You can see him trying to bait Dallas in to bite hard on the double team so he can swing it out. When they wouldn't bite hard, he stepped through.
There's Finley from downtown. And you get the idea. Jeff, you mentioned this is exactly what San Antonio was facing in Game 5. The Mavericks are feeling the pressure here in the fourth quarter.
And right now, Dallas doesn't want to double because this man has been killing it.
Kerr again! Steve Kerr with another three! Steve Kerr, the man who owns the highest three-point field goal percentage in the history of the NBA at 46% for his career, has connected on 4 of 4 from downtown and San Antonio with a 79-71 lead. And in downtown San Antonio, a look in at Franco's.
Thanks. I'll put this in the fridge. Make yourself at home.
Okay.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down.
A bowling ball.
Make it a Bud Light.
Back in Dallas, a look at tonight's Bud Light headlines. Well, former Charlotte Hornets head coach Alan Briscoe back with the Hornets. Now in New Orleans as assistant general manager. The Portland Trail Blazers deny the Philadelphia 76ers permission to talk to Maurice Cheeks. They wanted to talk to him about the head coaching job vacated by Larry Brown. And Team USA, the United States Olympic team, has added Elton Brand, Richard Jefferson, and collegiate Nick Collison out of Kansas. The Olympic qualifying tournament will get underway August the 20th. A heroic performance by Steve Kerr. San Antonio with 21 consecutive points. They have outscored the Mavericks 23-2 in this fourth quarter.
You know, in the last game, it looked like Don Nelson was the guy that was pulling all the right strings, but you got to give Greg Popovich the credit here. Kerr has played in the playoffs a total of just 5 games he's appeared in, 13 total minutes. In this series, just 2 games for 3 minutes up to this point. He comes in 11 minutes, 4 for 4 from the floor, 12 points.
And the other night we were talking about the fact that the Spurs look rattled, while the Mavericks rattled here in the fourth quarter. Rose gets inside, rejected by LaFrench. And Exel with that hesitation dribble is very close to a travel. Now Finley played by Kerr. And the foul. Hands check called on Kerr for San Antonio. Only their first team foul since Steve Kerr entered the game. San Antonio has outscored Dallas 31-8. He's played the last 12 minutes. He's 4 of 4. All 4 shots from downtown. Van Exel. They cannot buy a bucket.
And if you watch Steve Kerr before every game, he gets himself ready to play every night. Probably not going to play. This time it pays off.
Coming up on 4 minutes remaining on the fourth. Jackson. Rare miss for Steven Jackson. And knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Rose.
What Popovich did is because Dallas had been double teaming from the passer side of the floor, he's keeping Kerr on that side now. Instead, Dallas comes from the top or traps off of someone else other than Kerr. And Kerr has had a great stretch, but you see he's drained right now. He goes to the bench.
Dallas only 1 of 8 from the field in this fourth quarter. They turned it over 5 times. Good play by Claxton, who was involved in a mismatch with LaFrench. All San Antonio in the fourth quarter. Usually it is Dallas as the come-from-behind team, and San Antonio feverishly trying to protect the lead. Ginobili is fouled. He'll head to the line. We're down to 3.5 remaining.
Foul on Dallas, 43, Walt Williams.
Ginobili strong to that left hand. You have to understand he likes to come back to the left hand. That time a little fake right, come back left in the foul.
Ginobili a 74% free throw shooter. Well, the NBA Finals tip off on June the 4th at 8 o'clock on ABC. The New Jersey Nets waiting in the wings. You can log on to NBA.com for an exclusive look ahead at the potential matchup. Love it live on NBA.com. 10-point San Antonio lead after trailing by 15. Jackson with the steal. He has Rose. Rose could not finish. Finley got a piece of it. But plenty of time on the shot clock.
Peter Holt, the owner of the Spurs, jumped up when they came up with the ball, pointed and said, take it back out, just like Pop was saying. Start it over again.
Nice ball movement. Ginobili trying to get a little too tricky. Van Exel for the crossover. Beautiful move by Nick Van Exel.
Very important now. San Antonio has to continue playing. You cannot play scared because there's a lot of time left in this game. And we know Dallas scores points quickly.
Or take a timeout and get Kerr back on the floor for Claxton.
Here's Ginobili for 3. Rebounded by Duncan, and he's fouled by Nash. San Antonio has outscored Dallas 25-4 in this fourth quarter, and that foul puts the Mavericks over the limit. We'll be right back.
She ran by 2.
will not be afraid of the dark.
I will not feel guilty leaving my dog alone.
I will know my children are safe.
I will go on vacation and finally be able to relax!
At ADT, we're always there, helping more people feel safe in more ways than any other security company in America. A single ADT system can help protect your home and family from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. You'll be connected to our customer monitoring center, where ADT professionals are watching out for you around the clock. So when an alarm is triggered, we can call for help right away.
I will live my life.
My life.
My life.
On my terms!
Get a basic ADT system installed for just $99 and get up to 20% off your homeowner's insurance. Call 1-800-ADT-ASAP. ADT, always there.
From TNT. If nature selects you to be a cold-blooded killer, then that is what you are. Alec Baldwin.
What did they tell you?
Second Nature. See the world premiere Sunday, June 22nd at 8, only on TNT.
Steve Kerr in his 15th season out of Arizona saw only limited action for the Spurs during the regular campaign, although it did appear in 75 games. And Greg Popovich kind of go deeper into his rotation tonight. Tony Parker ailing with the stomach flu. Speedy Claxton picked up a third foul, so he sat down, and Steve Kerr came on and was on fire. 4 for 4 from downtown.
As Jeff mentioned earlier in the game, against a collapsing defense, the way Dallas was playing it, packing 5 guys into the blue paint, you're not going to win a game unless people from the outside start to make shots. That's the guy right there who turned this game around for the Spurs.
And Steven Jackson should be given a lot of credit as well for keeping him within striking range when no one else could get anything going.
We talked about reasons why the Spurs have blown some leads, missed free throws and turnovers. Duncan just missed the first one.
1 of 3 from the line tonight. And San Antonio 10 of 16 at the line. 82-73 Spurs. Hoping to wrap the series here tonight in 6. Van Exel lost it. Ginobili with Claxton. 3-on-1. Duncan the trailer. Beautifully executed by the Spurs, and they now lead by 11. The Dallas Mavericks led most of the way, led by as many as 15. Here's LaFrentz for 3. And a loose ball foul on Williams.
Number 43, Walt Williams.
It's a beautiful job of executing the fast break. Once Ginobili knew they had numbers, he turned up the speed. Claxton knew all along that his big man was trailing down the floor. Duncan with the finish.
And Mike, the quandary always is for a coach to try to convince his players. Which comes first? Good defense that leads to good offense, or is it the other way around? Good offense leading to good defense.
And you see Greg Popovich talking to Steve Kerr, making the decision whether or not he should go back in with just about 2 minutes remaining or keep him on the bench.
Malik Rose is now 0 for 4 at the line. Now Roger Bell will come on for Walt Williams. Spurs have outscored the Mavericks 28-4 in this fourth quarter. The all-time low in postseason. Fewest points in a quarter, 5. And Dallas with 4. With just under 2 minutes to go in the fourth. 85-73. LaFrentz for 3, way off.
I think LaFrentz let the crowd affect his decision-making on that one. He didn't want to shoot. The crowd yelled, so he shot it.
Coming up on 1.5 minutes remaining in the fourth. Here's Rose. It counts. And the foul on LaFrentz. With 1 minute and 29 remaining in this fourth quarter. Unless there is a miraculous turn, it appears the San Antonio Spurs are headed to an NBA Finals date with the New Jersey Nets. Make it 31-4 San Antonio over Dallas here in the fourth.
You can't even comprehend that big a differential in a fourth quarter.
and he is fouled. Dallas 2 of 12 from the field here in the fourth quarter. Well, for the Dallas Mavericks, a record of 60-22. In the regular season, the record was actually tied with San Antonio for best in the NBA. Spurs with a home advantage by virtue of that second tiebreaker, best record in the conference, 60 wins, most in the history of the franchise. In the playoffs, they go to game 7s against Portland in a very tough series. Dallas had a 3-0 lead and Portland won the next 3, but the Mavs took game 7. Western Conference semis, Mavericks beat the Kings in 7. They were down in this one 3 games to 1. Came up with that improbable victory in San Antonio, coming from 19 down to win game 5 to keep it alive. And we're rolling along here tonight. And how things turn in this fourth quarter.
But both these coaches and both teams have had incredible regular seasons. Don Nelson has kept his team in this thing. Ginobili going to the basket and foul. He's given his team belief, even without their superstar, that they still had a chance to win. He came up with a little different scheme. He jumped up his defenses a little bit, and these guys played their hearts out. They just went through an incredible run against this San Antonio team in the fourth quarter here.
We've been talking about fewest points in a quarter. Portland at Utah, 5 points back in 1999. And at this moment, Dallas with only 5 in the fourth quarter. They have been outscored 33-5. And Greg Popovich empties his bench. And Tim Duncan hearing the applause here in Dallas. As Steve Smith has checked in, Michael Finley now hears it from the crowd as he heads off. Only 13 tonight for Finley, who has had a splendid series. The San Antonio Spurs able to do it this evening from downtown. They were having their problems in that department coming into tonight, but led by Steven Jackson with 24 points. And the incredible shooting by Steve Kerr, who hit 4 of 4 from downtown. San Antonio is on its way to the NBA Finals. I'll meet up with the Nets. They split the season series in the game late in the season in San Antonio. You recall all the controversy concerning the possibility of Jason Kidd being interested in signing as a free agent in San Antonio. And Tony Parker went out and had a sensational game, a game that we broadcast here on TNT.
I think New Jersey matches up extremely well with San Antonio. I think New Jersey has a great opportunity to use the rest, to get Kidd healthy and come out and try to win game 1.
And since game 1 isn't until June 4th, it also allows Tony Parker to get some fluids back in his body and regain a little bit of strength.
For the Spurs, it'll be their first trip to the NBA Finals since 1999. Here's another three-point attempt when San Antonio won the championship in the lockout-shortened season by just beating your New York Knicks in a 5-game series. San Antonio, New Jersey will be the first NBA final matching 2 former ABA teams. The Spurs, the only one-time ABA franchise to win an ABA title. And Steve Kerr is tonight's Gatorade peak performer. A sizzling performance off the bench for Kerr. And the Dallas Mavericks are hearing the applause from this crowd. Greg Popovich and Don Nelson congratulated each other. San Antonio outscored Dallas 34-9 in the fourth quarter, so it's not an NBA low in terms of the quarter, but only 9 points for the Mavericks in the fourth quarter. And San Antonio will face a Nets team that has won 10 consecutive postseason games. Nets have not lost since back on April 26th. You'd have to go back to an overtime defeat in the first round of the playoffs. DJ Carlissimo, Spurs assistant coach, talking with Michael Finley.
You guys have been great all year.
And a look in at Fatso's in San Antonio. The celebration has begun. The San Antonio Spurs over the Dallas Mavericks in 6 as they just tore away in the fourth quarter. Thanks to our producer, Scooter Bertino, our director, Renato Lowe, our statistician, Paul Evans. Again, the final score, the San Antonio Spurs 90, Dallas Mavericks 78. We'll be back to wrap it on the postgame coming up inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai with Ernie, Charles, Kenny, and Magic. Also upcoming, inside the Spurs locker room. Get a look at the presentation of the 2003 NBA Western Conference Championship Trophy.